Shoot. So, hold up. It is the end of week 7, right? So the end of week 7, and I'm so very proud. I'm proud of me. Yeah, I did that. So today is artist check-in day. Want to see my toy gun? Hey. I'm low-key thinking about something in my head right now. That's why I'm over here giggling. But damn, I had this book for a minute. This shit is, I don't know. Oh, that's week 8. That's so cool. So, check-in time, right? How many days this week did you do your morning pages? Have you allowed yourself to daydream a few creative risks? Are you coddling your artist child with childhood loves? I'm not gonna lie, this week I was coddling my inner child. Yeah, it was just one of those weeks, and I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, girl. But now it's time to lock in again. It's time to lock in again. The week is over. I'm feeling better. It's a new week. So it's time to get to it. You feel me? At least for me, I'm still going to obviously take care of my inner child, my inner artist. I've had some realizations this week. A lot of realizations. Tizo Touchdown posted something on his story. By the way, okay, I'm going to finish that thought first. Tizo Touchdown posted something on his Instagram and TikTok, and I was reading it, and he said in the writing, like, look in the mirror and ask that person to let you be free. And I did the exercise. It intrigued me, you know. And I like talking to myself in the mirror sometimes. Yeah. So I did the exercise. And I just felt like I had a little bit of an epiphany is what you would call it. Maybe. But yeah, I was just doing the exercise. And I'm asking myself, who's asking this question? Who am I asking this question to right now? And who is asking the question? Which part of me is asking this question? And what I got from it was like, it was my inner child, my inner artist, asking to be free. Asking to be free in the best way possible, like, and in a non-judgmental, most joyful way. Like, my inner artist just wants to create from a place of joy. And I guess because of past experiences, not I guess, I know because of past experiences that I kind of, I guess you would, the right word for it, I guess right now, is that I stopped allowing my inner artist to express the way that she wanted to express because of momentary fears, you know, just those feelings of fear passing through in certain point in times. And I just got from all of that, like, I need to allow my inner artist to really and truly, like, create from a place of joy. Not everything has to be work, 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 and not everything has to be so serious, or not everything has to be so limited because of fear of judgment. Because people either are gonna judge you or they aren't, and either way, it really doesn't matter, because everyone perceives things differently. As long as I feel happy and good doing what I'm doing, I should allow myself to do so. And I even went back thinking about how I started writing these songs a couple months ago, and the way those songs started for me was like, I was just so excited to be writing songs. I was so excited to be doing it. I was so excited to be like having the words just come to me and flow to me, and I'm there, I'm creating, I'm expressing, and I'm so excited for myself. And then I think somewhere along the way, like, because of those like feelings of fear, I was like getting in my head about certain shit, like doing that. Like, have you ever had your inner critic be like either or, like you gotta do this or you gotta do that, and then your brain believes that shit for a moment and is like, oh yeah, like I am doing my best to allow myself and my brain to just not do that thing where it gets caught between either or. Like, there is an in between, actually. Okay, hold on. Okay, I gotta start going back and editing my videos, because hold on, what was that? Anyways, like, what I was just trying to say was like, sometimes I just would get stuck feeling like there's a either or, and there is so much in between. There is so much in between, like, especially when it comes to like creating my art. Like, it doesn't have to be like, what's the word I'm trying to get at? What's the word I'm trying to find for it? I feel like there's a word I'm looking for, but yeah, so anyways, so yeah, there was just some times where like I would get stuck in between, like, you gotta do this or you gotta do that. And I'm learning that like there's space to just be, you know, there's just space to just exist and let my art just flow. And I think that idea is what's gonna help my music start to flow out of me, like, consistently. You know, just having that mindset where I'm allowing myself to just create, rather than, oh, like, it's gonna be good or it's gonna be bad. Like, how about you just create the song? Worry a little less about the finished product, like, because it is gonna either come out good or come out bad. But I need to stop and ask myself, did I enjoy creating this piece? And was it good for me? You know, like, yeah. So I hope that made sense. I hope it did make sense. So yeah, but with that being said, just having that moment, which, thank you to Tizo for that. Thank you for putting that written piece on social media so that I could find it and sit down and have that discussion with myself, because I needed to have that discussion with myself. Like, especially if I see my art going somewhere in this world, like that is something that I needed to sit down and ask myself, like, am I just creating out of, what is it? Am I not allowing myself to fully create because of fear of judgment? Like, am I stopping myself from creating certain things because if it's not perfect, it's gonna be judged? Like, fuck perfect. Fuck perfect. Like, I need to leave that shit alone. Like, my music is gonna be what it is. Like, and it's gonna be great, just like me. That's just what it is, you know? Did I do my pages though? Oh, I wanted to also say, like, crazy thing happened, but I was literally in the middle of, like, this was after my artist check-in yesterday, last week. And right after the artist check-in that day, I was doing my last artist week task, the artist way task for the week. And my task was to make some changes in my house. And I was thinking about this friggin' closet and how it has all these clothes that I haven't worn in months. There's some because I didn't feel like washing them, and some because I didn't fit them, some because I didn't like them anymore, some because I just bought them and I threw them in the closet. Literally, there's stuff in there that I haven't even worn. I found my spider sweatsuit. I found like 10 sweatsuits. There's a bag out there full of just straight sweatsuits. I found these old jeans and stuff that I bought a while back that I couldn't fit before. And now I could fit them. Now I could fit them. So, like, yeah, I'm glad I went through it. I gave away some clothes. That was another task to do, to give away 5 old pieces of clothing. So I gave some clothes away. And then the rest of the clothes that I gave away, I took them to the donation box. Well, I'm going to. I still kind of got them there. Still got them in the living room. But other clothes I threw away. And then I washed the rest of the clothes. So I did that. But after, the whole point of me saying this is that I got to talk to Tizo Touchdown. I got to, like, actually speak to him. Like, he's been doing these Zoom calls for a couple weeks now, and I had just kind of found out about it last week. And at first I was like, what's the word? I was just suspicious of it. I was like, is this really real? Like, are we actually on a Zoom call with Tizo Touchdown? Like, because sometimes people, like, record their Zoom calls and then, like, you know, you join the recorded Zoom calls and stuff. But yeah. So at first I was suspicious, but I joined it. I was chilling, and, like, I want to say not even a full hour in, maybe, I'm finishing up the rest of my clothes and stuff, and he asked a question. He asked, what are we looking forward to this summer? And I was just dancing. I was literally just dancing, and I was vibing, you know. And he was like, I see you dancing there. What are you looking forward to? And I'm like, wait, are you talking to me? I was on the phone with my best friend, and bruh, I felt so excited. I felt so excited to talk to him, and I really feel like I didn't have a moment to fully process that moment because I was so surprised he was talking to me. I was dancing. I was busy. You gotta allow me to prepare for shit like this. You know? I wasn't, you know, there was so many people in the call. I really wasn't expecting, even if it was not a recorded live, I wasn't expecting that he was gonna call on me and like ask me to speak to him. So I was feeling so surprised. I was so excited. I was talking so fast. I was doing my best to slow down my words. Sometimes the excitement gets me, like, and I just got so much to say, and like I wanted to share so much with him. Like, this is someone, Tizo, this is someone that I am going to work with. I have to work with this person. Not have to, but I'm going to. Because the way he creates his music, his voice is so beautiful. And I'm sure we got a lot to learn from each other. I'm sure I got some knowledge that I could put on him. And I'm sure that he got some knowledge he could put on me. You feel me? Like, but I just felt very grateful. So very grateful. You know, like I said, I was kind of yapping a little bit fast or whatever. But he was listening, and I appreciate that so much. He really was listening. He was like, yeah, you said some things that really resonate. I was telling him, like, you know, how I'm looking forward to getting into the studio. I was telling him about my artist way journey, and I'm just grateful for it because it's opening me up to all the possibilities of what I can do, like, in the best way possible. And like, I'm learning along the way, like, on this journey. Like, I've always known that I've had a story to tell, but just like getting into this journey, like I've mentioned, like when I first started this book, when I first opened this book 2 years ago, I felt like I wasn't an artist at all. I felt like I was discovering rather than recovering. Even though, like, I've done so many creative things in my life. I've had so many creative pursuits as a young child, as a teenager. Like, I was doing so much creative things. I was being an artist actively, always. And just realizing that I didn't recognize how much of an artist that I already am, that's a story in itself. Like, what got me to that point, you feel me? But I was sharing with him, like, yeah, like, I'm just excited to get into the studio and make this music to share with the world this story that I have. Like, it's parts of the story that I'm still uncovering. You know, this is parts of the story that I'm remembering. And I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready to be with my people and to be creating with those people. You know, it was a lot. It was a beautiful call though. Bruh, we was on this call. Well, I got off the call at like 2 a.m. It went from 8 p.m. for me to 2 p.m. 2 a.m. Bruh, long ass Zoom call. I loved every moment of it though. I loved every moment of it. I love that I got to talk to Tizo. I love that I got to hear him talk. Beautiful voice, beautiful speaking voice, beautiful singing voice. I love it. So I'm grateful for that opportunity, and I'm sure he was grateful to have the opportunity to speak to me because, you know, we're just two humans who never got a chance to interact before, and that was such a beautiful, like, just, what is it? I don't know the right word for it right now. But it's definitely a beautiful moment. So yeah, that happened. That happened. I was so surprised. And it's so funny how I ended up on the Zoom call because, right, I saw him make the post about the Zoom call. And I remember this was last week. This was Friday. I saw him make the post about it, and I forgot to repost the video. So by the time I got home at like 12 a.m. the next day, I'm like, oh shit, it's too late to repost it because I saw him do another post. I have the notifications on my phone, so I saw him do another post on his story. I'm like, fuck, it's too late to repost it. And then I saw a video where this girl was like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I'm like, you know what, girl? You right. I'm just gonna do it. And if I don't get the fucking shit, who cares? You know, like, but bruh, I kid you not. I reposted the video. I commented on the fucking post. And then he responded to my comment 5 minutes later. He responded to my comment 5 minutes later. I was just meant to be on that call. I was meant to be on that call. I was meant to be talking to him. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for it all because like that was just so, it was such a beautiful moment. It was such a beautiful, like, just the way everything lined up. I'm just like, yeah, okay. So yeah, that happened. It was really fun. Back to the check-in. How many days did I do my pages? So